Hi everyone, Bernardo here. Once upon a time. This is probably one of the most powerful English sentences. Our body has a lot of different sensors that capture external information in the environment, and this information is extremely limited in parts. We can only see a short spectrum of light, we can only hear a very limited range of sounds, and we're technically never even touching anything. Nonetheless, our brain processes this sparse input and converts it into meaningful information, transformed into complex cognitive representations. We are telling ourselves a story of what we see, what we hear, smell, and feel. This phenomenon was perhaps most famously investigated in 1944 by Smith College experimental psychologists Fritz Heider and Marian Simmel. In their first experiment, the psychologists simply instructed subjects to write down what happened in the movie that you're watching right now. And that's a really good time to pause and let me know in the comments what you think just happened right here. Out of the 120 original participants of this experiment, only 3 came up with a straightforward description of geometrical shapes. Everyone else came up with a story of love triangles, parenting anecdotes, epic chases, and fights. We are natural interpreters of stories. And the most impressive aspect here to me isn't really the fact that most of us can convert those shapes into stories. The most impressive thing here is that we just naturally did it. It feels like a reflex. And when you convert those shapes into narrative, you're not consuming something that was first fed to you, you just created a story. And storytellers, they yield an enormous amount of power. Power to create, power to destroy, power to change and maintain. Paul Zak ran an experiment in which the subjects could watch a movie about a dying kid. It was a heartbreaking story, a real story by the way, and in summary what he concluded is that the subjects that were connected to that boy through that story had a spike in oxytocin, and these subjects were much more likely to donate to a fund that would help that boy than their counterparts. A good story triggers a change in our brain chemistry, which therefore spikes empathy, which end up changing the behavior for good. In other words, stories can change your behavior. Lisa Kron cites how To Kill a Mockingbird was crucial to the American civil rights movement in the 60s. French artist J.R. project Face to Face to the beautiful story in divided Israel and Palestine about taxi drivers, cooks, and lawyers who work the same jobs on opposite sides of the green line. Every decision process, every decision make is an emotional decision. In telling stories to ourselves allow us to fictionalize situations and see a glimpse of what we could feel if we choose option A or option B. You can't really change how someone thinks about something without first changing how they feel about it. I'm sure that watching Black Mirror made you much more disgusted about social media judgment and all of the reports on cyberbullying out there. That's it for this week. Let me know what you think and if you could use these tips in any project that you're working right now. And as always, feel free to comment, connect, or send me a message. See you next week.